It is me again. We're going to talk about a personal narrative today. That's a special kind of writing. It's basically a story that you write down for others. I want you to think of a time that you've gotten hurt. And pause this video and tell someone at your house that story. If no one's around, you could tell the dog or a stuffed animal, but tell the story and then come back here and we'll move on. So, when you told that story, did you talk about where and how and when you got hurt? Did you describe how you felt or what you were thinking when you got hurt? Did you tell those events in a certain order? If I asked you to write down the story you just told, that would be called a personal narrative. Today, our goal is to identify all of the pieces that go into a personal narrative. What are some of the elements that you think we would need to make sure we included in a personal narrative? As we talk, we're going to use this bubble graphic organizer to record all the important elements that a personal narrative should have. So, what are some of the things that definitely need to be included? Well, personal narrative is absolutely an author sharing a story that's true about something they experienced. Anything else? Oh, I think I heard someone say it has a setting. Oh, too many T's. A clear setting described in detail. Oh, I heard someone else say that it has a sequence of events. It's written in order. And I'll add this. It's best to use transition words. Helps the reader understand the order of things that are happening. Anybody else? I think I heard someone hollering from their living room. That includes the author's thoughts and feelings. It's a major part of the story. It helps your reader really connect with what's happening to you. Anything else? Oh yes, that one was very simple. Has a beginning, yep, middle, and an end. One more box. Sorry, in order for you to see this, I had to make it kind of big. What's the one more? Oh, yes. Good narrative writing has dialogue. It has descriptions and sensory details. Well, those are big words. That means that you include things that people might hear. I bet you missed that sound. Sensory details, things that people might hear or smell or feel. Dialogue is people speaking. If you fell down and got hurt, I bet you said, "Mom." That's something you would include in your personal narrative. The characters of your story speaking to one another. This is the elements that we need to include in our personal narrative. Now, we're going to read a personal narrative together, and we're going to look for some of these elements in the story. We're going to read a story called My Trip to Mexico, and we're going to color code it, looking for some of these things. We're going to be reading a story called My Trip to Mexico City. Let me find the story for you. Here we go. Oops. Elements of personal narrative, My Trip to Mexico City. We're going to color code this. I'm going to try anyways. And we are going to look for thoughts and feelings. We're going to color those yellow. We're going to look for some dialogue. We'll color it purple. And the setting, the description of the setting, we're going to color that blue. So I'm going to read this to you. Me encanta Mexico. Viajo allí todos los años. I don't speak Spanish, so if someone out there does, I apologize for pronouncing some of that incorrectly. I love Mexico. I travel there every year. This past summer, I went to Mexico City with my parents to see my aunts, uncles, and cousins who live there. We go there almost every year for 2 weeks. When we got there, my tia, Gloria, picked us up from the airport. Mi amor, she exclaimed. Ooh, that's dialogue, talking. So I'm going to highlight this dialogue, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to color it, not yellow, purple, because dialogue should be purple. Ah, that is not what I wanted. There. I'm not used to this either. As we got into her car, I took the surrounding sights in. I love the look of Mexico City. Many of the buildings are so old and full of history. From the car window, I could see the Merced Market, which was bustling with people selling fruit, live chickens, tortillas, and charcoal corn on the cob. That's making me hungry. Now that's telling me about the setting. So I'm going to change my color to blue because the setting is blue. Sorry, not good at this. There we go. Sorry, I love the look of Mexico City. Many of the buildings are old, full of history. The car window, I could see the Merced Market. All of that's telling me about where she is. That's the setting. Descriptive words too. It was making me hungry. I think those are feeling words. The feeling words are supposed to be yellow. Change my color to yellow. It was making me hungry. So already we've seen some dialogue, we've seen thoughts and feelings, and we've seen a description of the setting, and we're barely through the story. We went back to my aunt's house and she served us a big lunch. I love eating my aunt's cooking. It's delicious. But when we come, she jokes that she has to tone down the spice, otherwise the food is too hot for us. Did you notice? There was thoughts and feelings words in there. Thoughts and feelings are going to be yellow. I love eating my aunt's cooking. It's delicious. That's how she feels. We usually stay with my Aunt Tia, Gloria, the whole time we're in Mexico City. It's great because her son, my cousin Diego, also lives there. That's another feeling sentence. It's great. It's telling how she feels. We are best friends, so we always have lots to catch up on when we visit. I took some of my new video games along that I like to play. I got the PlayStation 4 this year, my cousin told me excitedly. Show me the games you have for it, I replied. That's some dialogue. Remember, dialogue is purple. Now, I'm still set on yellow, so let me change. Got a PlayStation 4 this year, my cousin told me. Show me the games you have for it, I replied. I was excited to see if he had anything I hadn't played before. I think that sounds like something he feels. I was excited. So I'm going to highlight, but I want it yellow. My other cousins came over the next day, and we went to a local soccer field to play a pickup game. I always have a hard time playing my best in Mexico City. That's because the city is situated at a really high altitude, at over 7,000 feet. It's much higher than Denver. It was hard to run at first because I got so out of breath. Now, here is another feeling sentence. I always have a hard time playing my best. The second week, we did some sightseeing. My parents wanted us to see some of the popular culture and historical sites, so we went to the Palacio Nacional. Again, not Spanish, sorry. Palacio Nacional, the National Palace. The Palacio del Bel Artes, the Palace of Fine Art, and the Frida Kahlo Museum. Some of the visits were really interesting. My favorite part was seeing the murals painted by Diego Rivera. My mom loved the Frida Kahlo paintings the most. This is a feeling, her favorite part. Those are feeling words. Which painting was your favorite? I asked her as we left the Frida Kahlo Museum. That's a hard choice, she replied. I found the self-portrait with Small Monkey to definitely be the most interesting one. There's some dialogue. Purple. On our last day, Tia Gloria had all of my aunts, uncles, and cousins over for a barbecue. Whoops. One of my uncles played guitar and we sang songs together. It was kind of like karaoke. The grown-ups talked all night while us kids played games. When we woke up the next morning, it was time to drive to the airport. I felt a knot in my stomach as I thought about leaving. We tearfully said goodbye to our family before we boarded the plane to fly home. Those were definite feeling words. I felt a knot in my stomach and we tearfully said goodbye. Those are feelings. Our trips to Mexico City are always too quick, and I'm always eager to go back again. Thinking back, this was probably my favorite trip so far because I secretly liked the Frida Kahlo Museum as much as my mom did. Now, this personal narrative has all of the elements. It has transition words, it has feelings, it has dialogue, it has setting, it has descriptive words. We are going to be working on a personal narrative over the next couple of weeks of your story. So think about how you can include all of these elements in your story. We're going to look again at what this story has in it the next time we visit. Thanks for listening and learning. You don't have a task to do for this lesson. Just learn.